We never know what's in store. And we've got to do a lot of explaining, which we will do once this first game gets underway. A lot of rules, a lot of regulations, a lot of different things you may not be used to if you've never seen KWC beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely. In just a few moments, you're going to be showing the arrivals, right, of both teams, the Italian and the French teams. And this is a great way to kick off the competition, right? The European Classic, the Italians facing the French. The Italians looking for a better performance after what they did last year. The French, for the very first time on this stage, we're going to see how they're going to perform.
All right, here we go. Você vê o K9 ali pro Gal. Vamos lá.
Over to you.
Vamos lá, Cris. É o momento.
Olha só, gente. Brasil!
Brasil!
Welcome to the land of Joga Bonito, where football isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. Kings League Brazil has assembled the most incredible roster of presidents the world has ever seen. Brazil has already proven they're the kings of this game by taking the trophy in the 2025 Kings World Cup Nations. Now, with the next tournament happening on home soil, the pressure is on. Who will lead the defending champions? The captain of Brazil's national team will be whichever president conquers what comes next. And in time,
Kings World Cup of Nations, an opening match to get underway very, very shortly here. Two sides still out there, just going through the warm-ups. They've been out there for around 5 minutes or so, but slowly making their way down to the touch lines here. It's going to be interesting because you're going to see a lot of different kind of football. The intensity as well in what is a fairly hot day and a very hot period in Sao Paulo in this air-conditioned arena. But it's going to be tough out there. You've got to be fit to play this game, that's for sure.
Talking about Brazil, right, the pressure really is on the defending champions and the hosts. It was impressive to see the number 9 there, especially in Italy. Kelvin Oliveira, K9, the Iceman, the Homem Gelado, as they say in Portuguese. He scored an impressive 19 goals in 5 matches. He was the MVP in every single one of those matches. This is the guy right here, the number 9. Look at that left-footed finish into the top corner. Brazil were crowned champions after a resounding victory, a 6-2 victory in the final against the Colombians. The Colombians also a formidable side, but Brazil really are the team to beat, and they got great players. We can talk about Kelvin Oliveira, we can talk about Lipão, a number of fantastic players who can make the difference. This was one of the particular plays that I really thought was impressive. Just how easily Kelvin beats the first man, beats the goalkeeper as well. And this was the final right here. How about that through ball? 1-0. Chris Guedes, Gaules, who we just heard from a few minutes ago, celebrating the final that was played in Turin.
Yeah, we've got our match games, the group games, the quarters and the semi-finals here in the Trident Arena. Then we move for the final to the home of Palmeiras FC. And I just wonder if we will be playing on grass or artificial turf rather in the Allianz Parque. I've got a feeling we will. It's a huge, wonderful arena, multi-purpose arena. That's where we will be for the final on the 17th. It's a long way to go between now and then. A lot of football to play, of course. We're yet to get our first match underway here, but it's a tasty fixture with Italy and France. So you mentioned Colombia as well, beaten finalists. We saw Colombia in action yesterday. Warm up really for them, and maybe some not quite at full pace, but could be. In fact, will be.
And not only did Brazil win the competition last year, right, but we also had Lipão winning the Golden Crown of the Kings League Universe last year. So Kelvin Oliveira was the top scorer, was the MVP of the nations last year, and then it was all, of course, fantastic for Brazil with Lipão winning the Golden Crown.
Lipão, big lip.
Yep, big lip. and he is good. Check out these skills. Cheeky there. He was in Mexico not too long ago.
Really is a wonderful finish.
Lovely acrobatics there. Plays for Furia FC, which is the team that we talked about a few moments ago. Neymar's team in the league. A lot of big names, and we're going to talk about those big names not only over the course of this first day, but all the way through January 17th, right? That's when the final will be played at the famous Allianz Parque. Now a message from none other than Ronaldo.
Some huge names associated with these tournaments. No one bigger, of course, than Ronaldo, or Ronaldo, as it's called here in Brazil. 1992 World Cup winner, never got a kick in the USA with Brazil as a 70-year-old. Put that right in 2002, beaten finalist, of course, in 98 in France. But what a figure.
And of course the president, right, of the Kings World Cup nation. Two-time World Cup winner, Ronaldo, two-time World Cup winner. He was part of the squad that won it in 1994, won it in 2002. Two-time Ballon d'Or winner, Player of the Year according to FIFA 3 times. So it really is an honor and a privilege to have a big name like Ronaldo connected to this competition. In Brazil, played for Cruzeiro, played for Corinthians as well, here in Sao Paulo. And you can definitely listen to the atmosphere, right? The energy building up here inside the Trident Arena.
Não se preocupe. Claro, confia. Eu, como presidente da Nation, não tenho nenhuma preferência. Serei imparcial entre Brasil e Espanha. Não se preocupe. Vai dar tudo certo. Um abraço, querido. Confia.
A lot of action here this afternoon. 5 games in total. We've got Italy, France coming up first. Mentioned World Cup winners, Anthony, a few times. Next door to us in the cabin to us is Adel Rami. Now the France president, World Cup winner, 2018. Just one of the famous faces here this afternoon.
Yeah, just to wrap up on, speaking of World Cup winner, just to wrap up there on Ronaldo, it's great to have a message from him. But in Brazil's opening match against Spain, he will face an important dilemma, right? Because, of course, he developed part of his career in Spain, right? Many years at Real Madrid, the Galacticos, right? And we asked him, hey, who are you going to cheer for? Are you going to cheer for Spain? You see the Spanish flag right there in Team España. Or are you going to cheer for Brazil? And he assured us that he will remain impartial. You know, I don't really believe that.
Yeah, holding the Brazil golden shirt in his hands as we look back on last year's action. Yeah, it wasn't brilliant when you think about what Spain has done on the World Cup front in recent years and also in Europe as well. Very different style of play, different playing surface, of course, different skill set required as we're looking at one of the shootouts, which you will be seeing a lot of in this competition. We'll talk you through the rules and regulations, of course, if you are new to this style of football.
And John, one thing we can definitely point on Spain is that they are coming into this edition really having learned their lesson from the First Nations last year when they were eliminated by Turkey. So this Spanish team started as favorites with 2 years of experience in the Kings format, but they only managed to secure 1 win in 3 matches. They stumbled in their opening game against Argentina, losing 4-2. In the losers bracket, they beat Italy 8-5. They eliminated the Italians, but Turkey eliminated them in the last chance with a dramatic 3-2 victory, a 5-goal thriller. So DJ Mario fully embracing his role. He has made sure the players don't let their guard down and arrive as well prepared as possible. So we can certainly expect a strong Spanish side. We're just going to see how strong once they face powerhouses Brazil later today.
Well, Italy, France, set to kick things off here. Looking a few games ahead with that clip of Spain and how they're going to fare against Brazil. Brazil got to be red-hot favourites on home turf, of course. But we shall see how that pans out.
El año pasado fuimos la vergüenza de la Nation, pero esta vez no seremos los mismos muertazos. ¿Me habéis oído? ¿Me habéis oído?
Sí, capitán.
¡No os oigo!
¡Sí, capitán!
3 años de experiencia, chicos. 3 años para que nos eliminara Turquía. Uzbekistán llegó más lejos que vosotros. A ver, ¿contra quién jugamos el primer partido? ¿Contra quién jugamos el primer partido?
Contra Brasil, capitán.
Muy bien, Calvito. Venga, siguiente serie. 28 grados hace en Sao Paulo, así que no podemos ver a este tío pasar frío. Como lo vea, toda la noche haciendo flexiones. ¿Ha quedado claro?
Sí, señor. No pasa frío.
Paramos, chicos. Está claro que no somos los favoritos. No tenemos a un Corona de Oro. La grada no la tenemos a favor. Pero somos...
Pero nosotros somos los más fiesteros.
Bueno, yo creo que tampoco. Yo creo que ni eso.
Well, action coming up very, very shortly here from the Trident Arena in Sao Paulo. Opening day of this World Cup extravaganza. Italy, France will get things underway. They've been out there warming up for quite a while now. We focused a lot on the last match, Spain against Brazil. We're going to look at what Chile has been up to.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to wrap up on Spain, DJ Mario put some pressure on his players, saying, listen, Uzbekistan went further than you guys at the Nations in Italy. That's not going to happen in Brazil, and I do not want to see Kelvin getting cold, which is the gesture that he does when he celebrates his goals. So let's have a look at how Chile's looking.
From the runways of Chile to the becoming famous all around the world, this is Silao, Mr. Real Universe, the first Chilean to wear that title. He traded the catwalk for the controller, streaming his heart out to hundreds of thousands who believed in him. Then he stepped into the ring, Balada 3, 60,000 fans screaming, 3 million watching. One moment that made history. Model, streamer, fighter, icon. Now he's ours, leading Chile into the Kings League.
The Kings League World Cup Nations, live and direct from Sao Paulo. Awaiting our first match of the day. Kings League draws. We're going to take you through things. We could talk about the Netherlands very shortly. Let's just remember that many of these rules and regulations and the way of doing things were set up through social media voting, which is why we get such an interesting format.
Yeah, great format, great rules as well. Just to wrap up on Chile, we were talking about Silao, Arturo Vidal also supporting the team.
Over 1.5 million subscribers, tens of millions of views. From YouTube streams to viral videos, Chatmo has built one of the strongest communities in Europe. Real, genuine, a creator moving through football, music and gaming. And now he takes that energy onto the biggest stage of all, from Papendrecht to the world.
Again, lots of action coming up. As we've been seeing the superstars, you've got Netherlands, Saudi. There's a lot of influences around here, a lot of big names, of course, involved in this format.
Yeah, it will be great, John, to see Chile facing the Netherlands, right? Two teams making their debut really in the competition. We saw Team Netherlands just a few moments ago, or rather the presidents, the captains, our staff, making sure their booth is in tip-top shape, making sure all the technology, all the equipment, making sure everything is in order for their debut game against Chile. You know, I also have high expectations, my eyes on Saudi Arabia, right? They have their debut against Mexico, match number 2 today. So we're going to see how Saudi Arabia really come into this game, looking for their first victory at Kings World Cup Nations. Is it going to come on Brazilian soil? We're going to get the answer to that later today. Keeping in mind, at the Nations last year, they already lost to Uzbekistan 4-3 in the first game, and then in the losers bracket, a loss to Mexico 8-4. So we're going to get a repeat of that game later today, and will Saudi Arabia have their sweet revenge? We're going to get the answer to that question in a few hours, John.
Just a reminder, Italy, France, Mexico, Saudi, Chile, Netherlands, USA against Japan and Brazil, Spain, all wrapped up very, very nicely for you here this afternoon and early evening, live and direct from Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's the Kings World Cup Nations 2026. Mexico, of course, in action against Saudi. Got sides from all over the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mexico, semi-finalists of the Nations last year, lost only to Brazil 3-1. It was really a tough match for the Brazilians.
La primera Kings World Cup of Nations de la historia reunió a los mejores talentos del universo Kings y millones de personas delante de sus dispositivos alrededor del globo. Y México llegaba decidido a dejar huella. El torneo arrancó con un duelo lleno de historia y carga emocional. Un Estados Unidos contra México que ponía en la cancha de Kings toda la rivalidad continental. Una derrota 4-2 que motivaba al equipo a empezar una racha imparable de 3 partidos seguidos ganando. Contra Arabia Saudita 8-4, Alemania 3-6 en el Last Chance y Argentina en cuartos 2-2 y 4-3 en el penalty shootout. Solo Brasil, que acabaría campeona de este torneo, consiguió frenar el avance de la selección mexicana con Obed Martínez en modo superestrella. Él terminó como el segundo mejor jugador con 3 MVPs obtenidos y tercer máximo goleador con 8 goles, solo detrás del terrible Kelvin Oliveira de Brasil con 5 MVPs y máximo goleador del torneo con 19 goles. Un torneo donde México demostró talento, entrega y orgullo. Italia fue solo el comienzo. México dejó huella y este enero tendrán otra oportunidad de demostrar de lo que son capaces.
Not so much to look forward to then here this afternoon. From the Trident Arena in Sao Paulo, Japan also involved in action against the USA. That will be match number 4 of the afternoon. We've seen a lot of players. We've seen more personalities as well as the presidents, which is where the focus is often is in the Kings universe.
Absolutely. And speaking of the presidents on the Mexican side, we got Captain Rivers, who'll be joined by Natalia MX, Alana, and the Montiel brothers, right? Alex and Gabo Montiel. Alex Montiel, the Scorpion Dorado. So high expectations for everything that will be going down in the Mexican booth. Kickoff whistle set for 2 p.m. local time. It's 1:56, so just a few minutes away. This is how Japan, also got to talk about these guys. This is how they are coming into the competition. This is how they performed last year in Italy. Surprise win against Italy, against the hosts. 3-1 victory in round 1, which made sure that Japan went into the winner's bracket, and then in the winner's bracket eventually lost to Argentina 2-1. So Junichi Kato's team really want to keep up that momentum for the competition this year here in Brazil.
Let's take a look at the States, who will be facing Japan as well. You never really know what to expect from any of these sides. As we said, Japan can spring a surprise. The United States also can follow suit. It's not just the skills involved. It's not just using the tactics of all the special events which take place. It's knowing how to put the ball into the back of the net, that tenacity as well, to work things forward and then just fish it off with a little bit of skill or just ram it home on that occasion.
Yeah, the Americans, John, in my opinion, last year, the nations in Italy, they really had one of the best games of the competition, right? They reached the quarterfinals. They faced Morocco after a 7-7 tie, 14 goals scored between both of those two teams. They lost in the shootout. So it really was a match. And there's Weston McKennie, right? U.S. men's national team player.
Well, back here live with us. We are moments away now from our opening fixture to European giants Italy against France. Final huddle.
And this,
for the two sides.
This is a great fun fact here. Jinx, the USA captain, he got the same haircut as Ronaldo. Remember the 2002 haircut? Let's see the reaction right now.
What kind of haircut would you like today? Give me the R9. Boring. Is this Riz or what?
Você top demais.
What kind of haircut would you like today? Give me the R9. Boring. Be honest, Captain. Is this Riz or what?
Yeah, you know, as I remember,
how about that?
Ronaldo's haircut was just a little bit worse.
It was a little bit worse.
That looks
yeah.
okay. That looks okay.
It was a little bit shorter too.
Short,
it wasn't spiking up.
Yeah, there was something going wrong. Definitely. I don't know what possessed him. He's never explained it really. But that's a long, long time ago. Everyone remembers it. Everyone remembers the fabulous football, of course. And we are moments away from kickoff here to giants of the European stage here on that Brazilian turf to get this one underway.
Yeah, the voting has begun right now to decide who's going to be the player in that 1v1 situation right off the get-go after the ball drop. Alessandro Colombo and Nicolo Marino on the Italian side, Moussa Sow and Nassim Lallemont for the French.
Yeah, and if you're new again to the King's Universe, the ball is dropped from a great height. There's a little cage right above the centre circle. It comes down. It's almost like a volleyball start. There is a technique to get possession. So it just tends to be when the team is choosing the taller players out there, the more robust players. But as you can see, there's a vote in a 1v1. We've got, Anthony, it's officially 7-a-side, but we rarely see 7 players in each team.
Exactly. Right, especially in the first the 5 minutes, right? I mean, it starts 2v2. This is an important rule to explain for our viewers across the globe. We start things off 2v2. We got the goalkeeper and 1 outfield player on each side who run for the ball. And then after every minute that goes 5, for the first 5 minutes, we get 1 player on the pitch again after every minute. And that just, of course, adds to the intensity of the game. And it really makes scoring early easier, which is something that, of course, we love to see.
Bem-vindos a Kings World Cup Nations Brasil 2026. As Copas do Mundo e a camisa da seleção brasileira me fazem lembrar de muitos momentos incríveis da minha carreira, em especial as Copas de 94 e 2002. Defender o futebol brasileiro não tem preço. Quando vencemos, pude levantar a taça e sentir o abraço da torcida brasileira e, ao mesmo tempo, o apoio de cada um dos meus familiares e amigos. Ganhar uma Copa do Mundo se transforma em muito mais que um campeão, se transforma numa lenda. Hoje, começamos na Kings League, uma jornada que termina com apenas uma nação coroada a melhor do mundo. Então, o melhor conselho que eu posso dar é: aproveitem o jogo, porque isso só vai acontecer uma vez. Que comece a Kings World Cup Nations. Bem-vindos ao Brasil.
start with the national anthems in just a second. Italy, France coming up. Well, the atmosphere building up very nicely. Italy, France. Let's get the French national anthem. Sung with gusto, the two national anthems. There's a little bit of Brazilian interference in the background here in the Trident Arena in the burning hot city of Sao Paulo. What a fabulous sight this is. We're slightly behind schedule. I'll make it 4 minutes past 2 local time. And there's a very, very long warm-up between these two teams. And in a moment or two, you're going to see what we've been talking about, all the different regulations, all the different rules, all the different kind of quirks, starting right from kickoff when it's 1 against 1, one goalkeeper, one outfield player. Even though the goalkeeper is also an outfield player, the ball dropped from a cage, Anthony, which is almost right in front of our commentary position where we are. You can almost touch it, but not quite. If we stretched a little bit, we could probably get there.
Yeah, we're very lucky here, John. It's almost as if we're in like a VIP box or something, right? We really have a bird's eye view. We have a privileged view, a very just great angle of the entire Trident Arena. Nice drone footage here as well. And this is the moment to determine who is going to have what secret card. We see that the shootout there has a little bit higher of a percentage. And of course, these secret cards, they could be game changers. Right, the green cards, of course, are the secret cards, and the blue cards are the presidential penalties. We'll explain that, of course, over the course of our broadcast. But in the first 5 minutes, we're going to have the traditional scale-ups, right? So we begin 1v1, which is actually 2v2, right? Because he talked about the goalkeepers being outfield players as well. We got the scale-up, and then between minute 5 and 17, that's when the teams can use their secret cards and the presidential cards in the first half. In the second half, the minutes change a little bit in relation to those rules. But from the looks of it, Moussa Sow will be the Frenchman to start things off. The voting process happening as well for the Italians. Nicolo Marino in the lead, 67%, 79 now, versus the 21% from Alessandro Colombo.
We are moments away from kickoff here. eyes on our match official. We do have a what you term assistant referees running down the side. No flags though, although we do have offside. That's the cage almost right in front of us, and the players, all the players start on their own touchline as we get the final countdown to the Kings World Cup Nations 2026 is underway. A race out right from the beginning. It's almost like special teams in American football to a little extent.
Yeah, what a way to kick off the competition, John. The European Classic, Italy versus France. One thing I noticed right off the get-go is the speed on the Italian Alessandro Colombo, the number 11. Hopefully we get a goal right off the get-go here.
There's a chance for the keeper, Greeley. Italy in their blue shirts. The keeper in all blacks has got a lot of space here. And that's a little bit of a stumble. You might get players as our referee steps in. Doesn't have a lot to get in his way at this stage because it's only 1v1, and we can hear the referees mic'd up as well. Great surface, as we said. Occasionally, actually, they can get the studs caught because it's a fine surface. It's only about a centimetre. I'm sticking my thumb in it very carefully, I'll add. Just a few moments ago, and you're right below the playing surface. You've got a bit of sand, so you can get your studs caught in there, but you can use great technique, and it's all about tactics, and it's a nice little save, and the follow-up shot whacked into the stand. So a couple of early openers here, but no joy, no early goal, and as you can see already, it's getting a little bit busier out there as players come on every minute, as you've already said.
Yeah, 2 outfield players right now. The last thing you want is to sink your studs into the turf and have that give you some sort of ankle or knee injury, especially on game 1. That would be a disaster. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the good stuff.
Well, this is Greeley again. The keeper's seen plenty of possession and hits it low, and he scores the opening goal very, very early on. You have to say, Italy given a lot of time here, and the keeper able to pick his spot with ease. And the Italians in good force here. Was that a slight deflection on its way in? He won't mind.
Yeah, what a lovely left-footed finish there from the goalkeeper. The Italian number 97, Vittorio Ghili, scoring the very first goal of the Kings World Cup Nations. Lovely shot driven across, left-footed finish off the post and in. Basically 2 minutes into the match, we already have a goal, 1-0. There's the number 10, Perotti, the guy you see on the right side of your screen there. He is one of the big names for Italy, right? If Italy want to go far in this competition, they're definitely going to need him. He scored 30 goals, provided 11 assists as well in split 1 of the Kings League Italy.
Well, our referee is in conversation with the VAR crew. But VAR, you know, we thought perhaps that we might escape VAR, but it's out there in any form of the sport, including the Kings universe. And we're talking about millimetres, so that goal might get scrubbed off. Anthony, AI in use in just about everywhere, in any form of life, any form of sport. It's physically being marked out here. AI is going to play a part in deciding football decisions in the very near future.
Yeah, hopefully AI doesn't take away our jobs, my friend. I think artificial intelligence hasn't quite gotten there yet. But on the right-hand side, bottom corner here, we see the Italian dugout, or rather their booth. Very controversial, my friend. What would you do in this situation? Question of millimeters, it is very tight.
It's a game of fine margins. I always think that if they can't make their minds up within 10 seconds, 20 seconds, then it should be standing the ruling on the pitch, because when you get to these kind of situations when they don't know, they're guessing in all forms of the game.
The Italians led by the head coach Mauro Micheli, but also their president Gianmarco Tocco, aka Blur, one of the biggest streamers in the world, the 29-year-old. And he is happy right now because the goal, oh no, he's sad actually. the goal is not legitimate. So we're back to 0-0. No goal for the goalkeeper, Vittorio Gili.
And more bodies out there for both the sides. Saka, who had the ball, now Son. France's number 10, a bit of a let-off for them early on. Babidi picks his way through. Nice balance from him. You can hear the referee running a countdown with his arm raised, telling the player to release the ball in that space of time. So it remains scoreless then. We thought we had an early opener. That's been scrubbed off.
Yeah, France have never been on this big of a stage before. They were represented at the Kings World Cup of Clubs in Mexico in 2024 by Foot du Roux. Made it all the way to the last chance, eventually losing to Muchachos FC from Argentina in the shootout. Italy, of course, looking for a rebound performance after not doing so well at home last year. A loss to Japan, just to recap their performance, a loss to Japan in the opening game 3-1, followed by the elimination to Spain 8-5 in the losers bracket. So the question is, what can both of these teams produce on Brazilian turf on their opening game?
We are finding out here. And after that early scare,
that's a
France
lovely ball.
now getting a control on that one. That ricochet almost producing a goal for the French. Didn't quite work out. Already we're up against 6 against 6. And it becomes more crowded, space at a premium. And normally this section is when we get fewer goals. Not always, of course. Time for Italy just to get a little bit of possession. Get themselves a corner on that far side. Scoreless then here. Gili's goal for the Italians ruled out with a marginal decision. Let's see what they can do. It's charged down. Maybe a break on here for France if they can get possession. Oh, they can't. The referee was up very, very close. Martins it was who went to ground. Robust from the number 27. Made sure he got as close to the area as he could do. 5 gone, 7 aside. Oh, that's nice. An even better save. Turn away a vicious shot. Really tries to get himself out of a little bit of a hole. Can't do so. Marino. Ball played short across the area. Italy pressing down his near side. Still scoreless here between these two giants of European football. Had the ball in the back of the net, but it was disallowed.
I got it.
See the secret card banner at the top with 2 colours. Colours of France and Italy out there.
Yeah, this is something we don't typically see every day, right? 6 minutes in, already a secret card activated on the Italian side. And just to reiterate those rules, right?
This one
between minute
ricochets to
5 to 17, 23 to 36, each team can randomly select their secret card to hopefully, of course, tilt things in their favor.
Go. Star player, what number?
Cards are out.
Star player.
Yeah, as expected, of course. Star player for Matteo Perotti, the number 10. This guy, four-time MVP, 16 goals in the Kings League in Europe, 30 goals, 11 assists in split one of the Kings League in Italy. So, you know, I've said this before, I'll say it again. If Italy want to shoot for the stars in this competition, they're going to need Perotti to perform, and certainly if he scores a goal now, it'll help the Italians in that sense.
Opening match day here in the Kings League.
And of course, a very, very important mention right here for UNICEF, that works in more than 190 countries to protect and improve the lives of the most vulnerable children, ensuring health, education, and protection from violence, conflict, and poverty. So in 2025, Kings League and UNICEF joined forces to promote key causes such as mental health, gender equality, and digital rights, supporting UNICEF's flexible funding so it can act quickly and where it is needed most. Very important mention.
Still scoreless here between Italy and blue. France in their white strip. Gilly had the ball in the back of the net for the Italians. The keeper early on. Denied by a very tight decision. 8 minutes gone. Opening match.
Nice little layoff there.
Both sides really smothering each other so far. There's a little bit of jostling inside the area. No cards or no words of warning so far from our match official. First corner for France. See what they can do. It's tipped inside the air. The volley was hit with some venom, but well off target in the end. Good run up from Scalamozzino to give him this full name, as this one is hoisted inside the area and it all comes to no avail. Anthony Wells, stalemate so far.
Yeah, we definitely see an even contest, right? This is something that, of course, we expected, especially with two European giants. But we do see the Italians with a little bit more of an aggressive posture, perhaps because they are a little bit more used to this sort of stage. But the French have been doing a good job defending. So we're going to see how things are going to play out over the next 10 or so minutes. And of course, all eyes on the number 10 Perotti. Just to reiterate to our viewers, if he scores, it'll count as a double goal.
More opportunities for sides to get those double goals. This is Perotti, and he slides it in, bang on cue.
Right as I said it.
Right foot finish. Will it stand, of course? You saw what happened, the VAR decision, but that one looked absolutely perfect. Now the Italians have had the ball in the back of the net on two occasions as he just glided through the challengers and put the ball underneath the keeper. But this one, Anthony, looks legit.
Yeah, he's got ice running through his veins, right? Right place, right time. Excellent run. 1v1 with the goalkeeper. He knew exactly what to do. Punched it in. The strategy worked, and Italy lead by a couple of goals. Important to point out, my man John, huge shout out to our viewers from all over the world, right? I see some of the flags here. We got Algeria, we got Saudi Arabia, Morocco, the US, Poland. Lovely to see just everyone from all over the globe connected here with us.
It's a worldwide appeal, the King's Universe. Yet to see the quirks of this format. We've seen the star player card used very efficiently. Here come France, chance for an equaliser, and it's stabbed home. Nice little turn, Martins it was, inside the area. Wasn't picked up, and that's next door to us, a familiar face there. The president Adil Rami, the World Cup winner, applauding his side.
Yes.
Just a little bit of space here for the turn and shot.
Yes, sloppy piece of defending there from Italy. France have nothing to do with it, and they really pounced on that opportunity. Lovely control, lovely turn, and lovely finish from Jonathan Kujia. You might recognize him if you watch the Premier League. If you're an Aston Villa supporter, he's a former Aston Villa man. And fun fact about him, he's got dual citizenship. He's French, and he's also passport holder of Ivory Coast. He's a former member of the Ivory Coast national team. So he scores France's first goal of the competition. From the looks of it, we have a VAR intervention as well.
Perhaps a potential offside. Just a reminder what's coming up here on this opening day this afternoon. Plenty to look forward to, including the Brazil-Spain encounter, 6 p.m. local time. It is 4:23 exactly here in Sao Paulo. What is it they are looking for here?
Okay, very clear. Okay,
Was that a foul?
No, fallo,
A little bit of contact on the standing foot, perhaps.
You know, John, if you ask me, I think that's enough for a foul.
Check complete.
Yeah, and it's given. No goal for the French.
Second goal ruled out already here this afternoon between Italy and France, one for each side, which means Italy still lead by 2 goals. You know, they've had a legitimate goal, but because it's one of those special cards, it counted for double. France trying to take the game to the Italians.
Yeah, once again we see there Jonathan Kujia, the number 22, the forward for the French. France have never been on this stage, but they do have one split in history, right? And the Pan Am All-Stars are the defending champs for the French.
And 12 minutes on the clock here. KWC 2026 live and direct from the Trident Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil. France, after a shaky start, starting to grow here. That's a wild effort. Almost into the north stand.
It's a rather interesting group, John, this Group C that France are in, right, with Algeria and Poland. The big name, of course, connected to the Polish team is who else but Robert Lewandowski, right? And then the Algerians have at least one player with World Cup experience. Players who were involved in the 2010, 2014 FIFA World Cups.
Scala's tip inside the area, easily dealt with. And Italy will just slow things down a little bit. It is a sapping surface to play on. And everyone behind the ball for France.
Italy with a slight lead, John. I mean, basically what Italy have performed so far, I think they deserve this lead, but only a slight lead. But it was a great strategy to have that star player.
Can they extend the lead? It was a great football from Lafaso before he had it nicked away. Now France tried to break on the far side, and their appeals for a free kick are heard by the match official.
And of course, just to explain to our viewers across the globe, once we hit minute 17, that's when we enter the double goal mark. And of course, all goals between minutes 17 and 20 are worth double.
We have seen a double goal already, of course. Now, slick move here, nice finish.
Block.
That smash onto the metal stanchion. Or did the French keeper get a touch? I think it was the latter in the end.
Yeah, it's a lovely run from Anthony Scaramozzino. There he is, the number 17, former League One player, right? If you watch League 1, you might remember him from his Nice days.
They're wearing Scara on the shirt. Just pinging this ball across the area. Keeper, in fact, I'm not sure how much of a touch he got on that one.
Yeah, we heard the word block on the loudspeaker. That wasn't quite a block. It was more of a touch on the post, was it? Oh, a little nutmeg there.
France again, a little bit of room here. Nice trickery and footwork. Supporters arriving. France pressing, with Italy getting numbers back very quickly, and the opportunity has disappeared. Corgia, the man who found the back of the net for France, again finding himself in space, couldn't just quite work his way through on that occasion. And 16 gone. 2-goal lead for the Italians, but only one effort on goal. That from their star special card. Again, the number 22 is the target man down the centre. Pierotti scoring once, but his goal counting for 2 as the special card player. For me, nothing. Getting ever closer to that special 17-minute mark. Italy maybe looking a little bit disjointed at times. And that is the marker for the 17. This one flies into the stands. So Anthony, 17 on the clock. We're in that period when any goal, as you've already said, counts double.
Yeah, 17 minutes, Italy slightly superior. We're not going to lie to our viewers across the world and say that this has been an excellent first half thus far, because it really hasn't. Italy have been slightly the better team, but slightly the better team up until they scored that goal. Right after scoring that goal with their star player, of course, after using the secret card, Matteo Perotti. After that, France started to produce a little bit more. They hit the post, they scored a goal. It didn't count, of course, but maybe in the final minutes of this first half, now that we have the double goal, things will get a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, double goal and a different ball and a different way of kicking off as well.
Yeah, we saw for a split second there the French head coach Gregory Campi, 49-year-olds in charge of this French squad. All goals count double. Remember, no added time. That's an important rule as well. And the color of the ball changes. Sorry to interrupt you, John. Now it's orange.
Yeah, France in their white strip here against the Italians in their more traditional blue. Scara tipping it out wide. Well, that one just ahead of Perotti, the goal scorer. And Italy prepared to drop back to try to smother out any French attack. Overplayed. Again, Corgia, the number 22, the target man. There he is on the keeper. Gili. Almost away by the Italians. 20-minute halves in the Kings universe. Italy with that 2-goal cushion, but failing really to produce that many chances on goal since then. More opportunities for the French.
Right next door to us here, John, I can see Adil Rami. He's on the edge of his seat. He's almost jumping onto the field. He wants to get in there.
The World Cup winner, 36 caps to his name. Now president of the France side, and that's a real whiz-bang of a shot from quite a way out. Hit with a lot of pace, and this time the keeper does get a couple of palms behind it. France prodding and probing, and again coming close.
How about that save? Huh? Lovely elasticity, great reflex from the Italian goalkeeper Vittorio Ghili. Gets a glove to it. Not quite sure whether that ball was going to go in or hit the crossbar. Either way, just to be safe, you want to get it out.
Yeah, Scala just knocking his volley into the ground. Here they come again! Again, the acrobatics from the French. Well, you, Anthony, were saying Italy the better side. For me, I think France are edging it, but it's a game of opinions, of course.
It is. I think France have been the better side after Italy scored. I think Italy kind of slept on that goal, and France are pressuring. What a great effort, though, from Jonathan Corgia there to make the most of that situation, and that wraps up the first half.
2-0 then to the Italians. One official goal from Perotti, but he came on as a star player as the card, and his effort on goal counted twice. This one here had the ball in the back of the net. That was eventually ruled out. France had the ball in the net as well, also ruled out by VAR decisions.
Addirittura loro ci hanno aspettato bassi lo stesso e noi abbiamo smesso di giocare. Abbiamo detto che dobbiamo curare meglio la pulizia dei passaggi. La dobbiamo curare meglio perché se arriva sta palla rimbalzella è difficile da girare.
Half time here, 2-0 to the Italians.
Seconda cosa importante, dobbiamo fare un accorgimento.
Yeah, let's try and listen in to head coach Mauro Micheli, coach of Alpac FC. This was the guy that led Italy at the Nations last year. So far, so good for his team. They're in the lead 2-0, but when it comes to Kings League, 2 goals is not a whole lot. That can change in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, we're listening in. I'm sure France are listening in as well. The old-fashioned kind of a little board we saw with the checkers on it a second ago when the Italian camp. This is the man, well, we didn't see him now, but the man we were talking about, the World Cup winner, Adil Rami.
D'accord? Mais enlevez-moi cette tête dans l'autre. 49-year-old Gregory Campi.
D'accord? Ok les gars, du sourire.
From Monaco. He was a player back in the day, played for Lille in the French league, also spent some time in the lower divisions in Italy, was a striker and a midfielder, and selected to lead France.
D'accord? Vous inquiétez pas, vous inquiétez pas. Allez.
I'm getting a lot of okays from the coach.
How's your French doing, my friend?
It's improving every minute here this afternoon. Opening match from the city of Sao Paulo. Kings World Cup Nations 2026.
When we talk about Italy, right, John, of course you have to talk about Italy in the Kings League, but we have to talk about Italy in the World Cup. They missed out on the past 2 editions, right, in Qatar in 2022 and in Russia in 2018. Are they going to be in 2026, right? Because Brazil, we talk about the 7-1, and for the Italians, their 7-1 is not making it to 2 World Cups. What do you think is worse? Losing 7-1 in the semifinal at home or not qualifying for the World Cup?
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
I've got to say,
that's
it's
why I
7-1.
asked you.
It's got to be the 7-1.
It's got to be the 7-1.
Absolute 7-1. People talk about 1950 in Brazil, of course, and Brazil losing the World Cup. The only country to lose a World Cup final on home soil, then getting thrashed by Germany in Belo Horizonte by 7-1. That's really is hard for the Brazilians as the dice comes in.
Yeah,
the logo.
So it'll be 1v1. This is a very important moment here. The dice being rolled by Staj right from the Brazil booth. He previously was president of Real Elite, and now he's the president of Dibrados FC, which is a new team that will start in Kings League Brazil this year.
Second half about to get underway. Italy leading France by 2-0. And the ball to be dropped from the ceiling. And you're going to see a lot of very, very quick changes here. Italy have already made one, so the tactics of maybe getting a tall player, try to win the ball initially. But this is where we expect more goals. And Pirotti's great footwork creates that opening for himself. And Italy find the back of the net right from kickoff at the start of the second half. Wonderful footwork, and there's some glum faces in the French presidential booth. But a bright start again from the Italians.
Yeah, talk about the star man, talk about the difference maker. Matteo Perotti, the number 10. 3 goals for Italy, and he's got 3 goals as well. He's shooting high in that top score race.
It was the balance of the pullback on the left peg that send the defending player the wrong way, and then the fine finish.
And also an important information here. We see the French goalkeeper there, Le Sec. The other goalkeeper, Florian Verplank, is unavailable due to injury. So the French are certainly hoping that Le Sec does not get injured, because if he does, they're not going to have a replacement.
Goalkeepers, as we've seen, very mobile, can move forward to support the outfield players.
Only the black zone, okay?
Yellow cards and red cards are available in this tournament. We've seen neither so far, but the red can lead to a suspension for a couple of minutes and the player is replaced.
Okay? No participa.
A little bit of a delay after that, what we think at least is a third for Italy. Well, this is the star man at the moment. Italy's number 10. These two have formed a very good partnership, the keeper, Perotti.
From the looks of it, he's going to get a chance at the shootout. We saw a quick angle there of the Trionda. That will be the official ball of the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Well, a very good chance here for the number 10 to add to his total. We know how wonderful his footwork are. He doesn't need it as he drills this one in. On those 4 goals, all struck by the number 10 shirt. Now we're just starting to put themselves with a little bit of daylight between the French side.
Yeah, lovely left-footed finish. It had the power, it had the pace, it had the placement as well. And he really took advantage of the fact that the French goalkeeper didn't quite come off his line. So he saw the angle, saw the space, and he pounced. 4-0 for Italy. Now the situation is really tricky for the French. We're going to see how they're going to rally, how they can bounce back from this. They have time.
Although the odds are against them, they need something here. They could get something here. Terrific stop. Driven straight in. Sal's efforts turned away.
And I think I cursed the French goalkeeper, Guillaume Lesec, because right after I said that, he's out for injury as well. So now there's a player in goal.
The kiss of death from Anthony Wells, striking early.
Yeah, I certainly hope not.
Referee well positioned. Don't forget that we are scaling up. But this is an opportunity for France. He's stumbling forward. It's a nice touch from the keeper. Chironi on that occasion had a chance here to kill it, perhaps. And put away with aplomb. And Italy are starting to walk away with this one.
Yeah, lovely finish from Alessandro Colombo, the number 11. He's got the speed. We saw that earlier. But now we're learning he also has the finish. 1v1 ice running through his veins. He made no mistake. It's 5-0 for Italy. The other star player finds his first goal of the competition.
Round about the halfway mark, we thought, okay, France, bit of a tall order. Let's see what happens here first. Tall order when it was 2-0. It's now 5-0. Have the heads dropped for the side in white. It's not impossible, Anthony, that they could come back, but they need something very, very quickly.
Yeah, we've seen incredible comebacks, especially when we enter match ball mode, right? Once the clock hits minute 36, the winning team will only really win the game if they score a golden goal.
It's one of those rules, isn't it? It's one of those quirks. Voted for, of course, on social media as we hit the 23-minute mark. So you might be leading. Italy might be leading by 5, 6, 7, 8 goals. They still have to score another one.
They still have to score another one. That's exactly right.
I think that's a great rule if you've got a very, very close competition or close match.
Right.
3-2, something like that, 4-5 or whatever, gives that team who are trailing another chance. However, of course, you're going to feel hard done by if you're the side who've got the lead and then you suddenly blow it.
Exactly. I mean, yesterday in the exhibition game between Morocco and Qatar, we saw that Morocco really had quite the lead, but then once we entered match ball mode, Qatar went on to score 2 or 3 goals. Morocco eventually won it. Usually, statistically, if you're way in the lead, you're going to end up winning it anyway, but you might concede 1 or 2 or even 3 goals in that process. But things are looking tough for France right now, and we'll see what they can produce up until minute 36. So now the teams can use their secret cards, right? Both teams have, just France has the secret card, but both teams have the presidential cards.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And France have the secret card as well.
4, 5, 6.
And the Italians use their secret card with a star player to very good effect to give them an early cushion. France in their white kit against Italy, and the French taking a little bit of a pounding here this afternoon. Can they find a way back? 2 halves of 20 minutes. Here come the Italians, and they are running away with it. I think their heads have dropped now for the French. Every time they're in on goal, they find the back of the net. And maybe, just maybe now, there's no way back for the French.
Yeah, lovely finish there from Simone Lofaso. He did count on a certain amount of luck, right? It went underneath the goalkeeper, took a deflection, and it really is just not France's day. For France, it took a deflection the wrong way into the back of the net, make that 6-0 for Italy, who are now activating their presidential penalty.
Well, if you're going to do that, this is the time, isn't it?
This is the time to do it.
A couple of months ago, we were here as observers, and we saw some presidents taking some penalties, and they were not very good. However, a lot of these presidents out there are former professionals, so we expect to see something a little bit better. And one thing as well, sometimes, Anthony, the presidents just need a little bit of encouragement to get them out there in time for these penalty kicks.
Yeah, the president for Italy, Gianmarco Tocco.
Or known as Blair.
Yeah, the 29-year-old. He's one of the top 10 streamers in the world. He's got over 1 million followers on Instagram, and he was part in 2024 of the Stallions, right, in the Kings World Cup in Mexico, alongside, guess who? Francesco Totti.
Saw the rules which popped up just a moment ago. Oh, this is his moment here. We wonder, what's the quality? What can we expect from this man from the penalty spot? Looks confident enough.
And I can see from up here, he's got his socks on.
Yeah, we saw this in the practice matches yesterday. Players taking their boots off. Players lifting up the kicking leg of a tracksuit bottoms. Let's see how good he is. Steps forward, and that's not bad a penalty. Straight down the centre. And he'll milk it as he's mobbed by the Italians. He's getting more joy and more love than the other goal scorers have had so far in this match. I suppose that's what happens when you're the president of anything.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job there. Right-footed finish, had the power, the placement, the height.
Kept his cap on as well, almost fell off.
And the tag on his jersey as well. The goalkeeper went the wrong way. And now, I believe we're going to get a presidential penalty on the other side, because I can already see Adil Rami, who's a former Pro World Cup winner. He's going to take it.
Yeah.
So I think the level of that penalty, the quality, how it was taken was good here on this end, John. But with Rami taking it on the other, I think we're going to see it's a completely different story.
Yeah, we said that he's in the booth next to us. We had a quick chat with him before
gentleman,
kick-off.
nice guy.
Has he got the finish? Can he keep the cool? One president's done it. There's extra pressure, of course, when you're a World Cup winner to step forward and do the business. And we're going to see him in action very shortly. As we said, sometimes it does take a little bit longer than we hope for to get the presidents out there. And there he is. Looks tall there, doesn't he? Looks a bit bigger than perhaps he is in real life. He stood next to us moments ago. And he's making sure he gets the encouragement from his French side.
Ooh, I don't know about you, John. He seemed pretty tall from my standards. Big guy.
Yeah, he's got the Fortnite shirt on. Of course, Fortnite's heavily connected with us. And the Kings universe. Great game if you've never played it. He's got his boots on. He's got the focus there as well as he got the finish. Well, there's the answer. A little bit of egg on the French faces. They cannot get off the score sheet, and he's going to come back, and we might be able to pick up what he has to say for himself in the booth next to us. But it's hit with venom. Was that fingertips? Was that a fingertip stop to send it onto the crossbar? Off he goes down the tunnel, and he'll be coming up the stairs. From that fuzzy angle,
maybe that ball bounced in.
It could be. Is it England against West Germany? I'm not so sure. 1966 when it didn't cross the line.
Or England versus Germany 2010 World Cup, South Africa.
Well, it was a mile across. Yeah.
Round of 16, I believe it was. Checking in progress. VAR intervention.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about this moments ago. The VAR. It's all technology. We've all got the quirks, of course, here. We've got the VAR. Now, does that ball go enough across the line?
But the image is all fuzzy. I think they're going to have to use this smaller angle right here that's a lot clearer.
It's got to be the entire ball. There's got to be daylight between the ball and that white line. Of course, we've got VAR, but we don't have the goal line technology.
We don't have the goal line technology. That's what we need right now.
I'd scrap VAR and use goal line technology. We had some very, very extremely tight decisions here this afternoon already.
Yes, already.
And we had some great goals as well, which were scrubbed out for a couple of millimetres.
I mean, this
game of opinions.
Game of opinions, but this is what we want, right, John? We want excitement.
I'm on the kind of anti-VAR camp. I have
Are
to be
you really,
fair.
my friend?
I
don't even get me started.
I thought when it came in, it's going to be brilliant. but I think I'd like to see a limited use of VAR.
Okay, I'll meet you halfway then. Limited use, all right.
Very limited use.
No, oh, come on.
Because it just annoys so many people, doesn't it?
It does. Especially when it hinders your team.
And especially when sometimes you can't work out why the officials have made that decision as well.
Right.
Well, I can tell you the president is back next door to us.
Right.
Doesn't look a happy chappy, but he's got his eyes on his French side, who are getting walloped here by the Italians. And there's still a long way to go.
We still have, what, a little less than 13 minutes for
a comeback.
For a comeback, yeah, for France to try and muster something out of this game here. Doesn't seem likely, but
you never know.
But who am I to say it can't be done?
Well, that was almost sneaky from the Italians. I think France, really, they don't want to finish the opener without scoring. At least they've got, if they can score maybe one or two, they can say, okay, at least we've got a couple of goals back.
Yeah, and just a quick correction here. The second French goalkeeper, as we said, who's out due to injury, that is incorrect. Lissek, I believe he picked up a yellow card. He was out for 2 minutes and he's about to jump back in because I can already see him on the sidelines there. The number 19, Guillaume Lissek.
Yeah, cards, as I said, yellow and red. One leads to a small suspension. One leads to a side being a man down. 25 on the clock here. Italy flying this afternoon in Sao Paulo, Brazil, turning it on a bit. Want to pound the French, of course. Goal difference might make that added little bit of spice when we're in that league format, of course. A miscontrol on this near side, but it's a sorry day for the French so far. Hammered at least. Now we're at the 25, almost 26 minutes, trailing by 7 and missing a penalty. And the Italians trying to do a little bit of showboating here. You can't blame them, as there was a little bit of contact. Let's wait for the replay, as ever.
Yeah, I would not want to be the French goalkeeper in this situation, but we can definitely see, right, John, the Italians a lot lighter on the ball, right? They're able to work it easier and just get closer to the French goal faster as well.
I'm not so sure about the contact. Oh, whisker, isn't it, really? It's theatrics for the third time. And I think as well, Anthony, for me, the key is when you see someone rolling around like that, you know he's okay.
Yeah. You always need whenever you see someone in that situation, you're like, I want the replay.
Yep.
Show me the replay.
That's always the first thing, just in case we manage to put our feet in our mouths a little bit too prematurely, but the French keeper's already on his feet.
Secret card on the French side. And Alessandro Gelsi, the number 23, out for a couple of minutes.
Let's see if France can sneak themselves a goal here. As Italy try to break. Anthony, my big question always is, see the Italians clear it with relative ease. Played onto the far side, but overhit. Saw the theatrics from the French keeper moments ago. Do they forget, the players? We've got cameras all over the place.
I think they forget. I think they just want to make the most of the contact there, even though it's a slight contact. They want to make the most of it to try and perhaps get a yellow card. And guess what, John? The strategy worked. Because Alessandro Gelsi is out for another, a minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah, I think if you really do get booted in the face, you're out for the count and not back on your feet within 30 seconds. All right, next 4 minutes then, double goals. Now, an opportunity maybe for the French. Chance, of course, for the Italians to really, really put this game beyond the France side.
Yeah, and the French have on the pitch right now the number 25, Gianelli Mbula. He is one of the former pros, played for Olympique de Marseille, played in La Liga, right, for Rayo Vallecano, also spent some time at Stoke City in the Premier League. So he could perhaps be the guy to score that double goal for the French. Things are looking good in the Italian camp right now.
Stoke City, wonderful setup. They've got a few artificial pitches, maybe not quite the caliber of this one here in the Trident Arena.
You see the possession there. How funny is that, right? Just a little bit more possession for France. But at the end of the day, ball possession doesn't really translate to goals.
Yeah, it's one of those stats where you have to dissect it.
You really do.
It's not what's the percentage you have with the ball, it's what you do with it, really. Although, statistically, if we're going to go back to stats, sides who have more possession do tend to win more matches.
That was exactly the philosophy of Pep Guardiola, right? If you don't have the ball, you can't score on me.
How football has changed and is changing at all levels of the match, including the King's universe. Waiterly with a man down.
Yeah, it's a number.
Down at the bottom of your screens. If you want to join us live, of course, we are in the old Palestra Italia, now the Allianz Parque, home to Palmeiras FC. I was there at the old Palestra Italia, first ever game in Brazil. I think it's Palmeiras Guarani, a long, long time ago. Never been to the new place.
Never been to the
new
place.
And it's slap bang on top of the old arena.
Yeah, it's definitely a must. From wherever you're watching us around the globe, if you ever find yourself in Sao Paulo, you have to go to the Allianz Parque. It is one of the most modern, if not the most modern stadium in South America. When you get the big concerts here in Brazil, right, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, Coldplay, they more often than not perform at the Allianz Parque, which is where we're going to have our Kings World Cup final.
Yeah, it used to be it's the Morumbi, home to São Paulo, Morumbi as it's called nowadays, which was penciled in to be the stadium which opened the World Cup in Brazil. In the end, it was Corinthians' brand new arena which did that. But as you said, a lot of the big stars from around the world go to the Allianz Parque. Here come Italy again, looking for more goals just to rub it in against the French. And one of the ironies is, of course, that sometimes when there's a show on, Palmeiras get hoofed out of their own home and have to play down the road.
Yep, at Arena Barueri.
Which is a little different, nice little place, as this one is hit low and a good stop. The man who was rolling around in theatrics, a long throw out from him. 29 on the clock.
France without the number 78, Alceni Sano, the defender. And their double goal is running out. Basically 60 seconds left.
Yeah, it was the key, wasn't it, to bag maybe 3 and put themselves back in the game. 3 would have been 6 on the double goal, but it looks like it's drifted away from the French. Well, angled shot straight at the keeper. Some confusion inside the area. But Italy largely untroubled so far this afternoon and may get something else on the back here. It's unselfish from Pirotti on that occasion. Well, he could have gone for the goal himself from a tight angle.
Nice little nutmeg of a pass there on the build-up of the play from the number 8, Domenico Rossi. Matteo Perotti, if I'm him, I mean, I got 4 goals. Why not go for 5? Try and pass it underneath the goalkeeper between his legs. Cheeky, wow, back heel there.
Yeah, Perotti turning it on. I just wonder about this, if you get a goal and it's a double goal and you score another, does it count as a hat-trick? Do you feel that's a real hat-trick? Or do you feel that's a system giving you? Here comes the Italians again, and surely now, and it's easy. So easy. What we think should be goal number 8 for the Azzurri. Was it the man we were talking about just seconds ago? No, it wasn't on this occasion.
From the number 30, Nicolo Marino. Calm, cool, collected. One touch to control the second touch to just take.
debut for them. Plenty to look forward to this afternoon. Mexico, Saudi, Chile, Netherlands, USA, Japan, of course, Brazil, Spain to round things up later this evening.
Yeah, what a way to close out this first day, right? The host defending champs taking on the mighty Spanish. That is a must. From wherever you're watching us around the globe, you definitely want to tune into that game.
$7-0 then the scoreline to the Italians. And maybe the heads have really dropped as everyone moves back, and Italy denied. We've had a lot of balls in the back of the net. Will we get another one here? Keepers committed. A lot of goals, a lot of balls in the net, Anthony, which have been disallowed. Is it 4 now, I think?
Maybe 2 or 3 goals that went in and were disallowed.
Curling angle and curled away.
Yeah, the effort there from Jonathan Kogia on that near post. Didn't quite have the angle.
Non, je me rassure pas, t'inquiète pas, on connaît le foot.
Well, the Italian and the French booths, two very different atmospheres. Keeper out smartly.
Not a whole lot of fouls, though. You saw the statistics there, just 8 fouls, 4 on each side. So it was a game, it was a good game. Definitely a great way to kick off the competition. A game that had its pace, it had its flow. Chances on both sides, of course, more for the Italians, as the scoreline indicates. This is Mbula, the player I was referring to a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's all been hard but fair, hasn't it, really? Apart from the theatrical moment, which did lead to a yellow card in the end. But I think most of the time what you see in this sport is cards given for the likes of shirt pulling or just deliberately blocking a player's movement. Very rarely do you see any kind of really harsh and hard and unfair challenges. Saying that, there's a long way to go and tensions will rise.
A minute and a half now before we enter match ball mode.
$7-0 to Italy against France.
Up next, Mexico versus Saudi Arabia. A repeat of that clash at the World Cup last year.
Again, the French able to keep hold of the ball, but Italy barring all disasters, have this one wrapped up.
France just might have a chance at a consolation goal during match ball mode.
That chance disappears for now, at least. Stabbed delicately forward. Colombo couldn't add to his one so far. France desperate to get off the score sheet. Getting towards that 36-minute mark, and again, Italy have to score, don't they? Quick adjustments for the officials and the sides. The arena slowly filling up.
Oh les gars, dans les nouvelles règles.
A sec with a shake of the head.
Ascolta, Moussa, le dessus.
By the way, I know with all the World Cup action, it's impossible to get bored, but just in case, remember that Fortnite never stops either. Every time I check, there's a new mode, whether it's Reload, Creative, Battle Royale, OG, you never get bored. So if anyone wants to take advantage of any break between matches, you know, just click the link in the chat.
Well, here we go. Despite their commanding lead, Italy still have to put that ball in the back of the net.
And just important to explain to our viewers, right, John, in the beginning of the game, we had the scale up. Now it's the scale down, right? So after every minute that goes by, you see the small timer there just to the right. A player on each side will be exiting the field, and that just might give the French a chance to at least score a goal.
But Italy, of course, do need to come in. Fortnite, we've talked about that just a few seconds ago. And Anthony Wells gave you the rundown on the wonderful game, which is Fortnite. Again, with two cabins in the right and left corners. Interesting voting system for the man, because it is a men's game today of the match. Sometimes called hero of the match in other tournaments. MVP, call it what you want. We're in match ball mode. Italy, despite this lead, still need a goal.
And I think this just might be the easiest vote in history, right? I mean, 7 goals, 1 player scored 4. So,
well, here they come. Chance now to tip it in, and it's out. Very, very close to that colder moment.
Yeah, the effort there from Simone Lofaso, looking for his second goal, gently touching the crossbar.
And France get that consolation.
Yeah, impressive to see. Still 0% there on Perotti. He would be my vote, of course.
Maybe Geely and co got the family members voting. Yellow card flashed on the far side.
Yeah,
frustrations for the French.
Anthony Scaramuzzino picks up the clear yellow card. That's a yellow card. It's clear as daylight. He's going to be out for a couple minutes.
Oh yeah, we're talking earlier on that most of the cards dished out in this tournament have been for shirt pulling. Very rarely do we see it in this sport for late challenges like that. Unnecessary challenge from Scara. That's given Italy an opportunity to wrap this up. Maybe that's what he wanted.
Keeping in mind at this point of the game, a yellow card indicates a shootout, a red card, a penalty kick.
So he must have known what he was doing. Maybe he just wants to end all the grief. An opportunity here for the man who was brought down moments ago to finally kill the French off. We've seen him do it before. It's easier said than done. This is the moment, and he just drills it into the back of the net. And the Italians celebrate a significant win over France by 8 goals to 0. France, a real drubbing here and our opening match in the KWC, and it really did have to be the number 10 to fire that one. He's brought down moments ago. Scored that double goal plus 3 more, so 5 if you count the double of the 8 for the Italians, including one from Blur, the president, Colombo and Lafaso rather.
Yeah, what a performance from Matteo Perotti, right? This shootout right there, almost a repeat of his previous one. Ice running through his veins in a 1v1 situation. A left-footed shot driven across. Successful for Matteo Perotti. Out of the 8 goals, he scored 5. Dream start for Italy. Dream start for this guy right here. We talked about him before the broadcast as the star man. We talk about him after the match as the star man as well. You can already see the Mexicans on the pitch. In just a few moments, we're going to be getting underway with Mexico and Saudi Arabia. Match number 2 of this first day of the Kings World Cup of Nations 2026 right here at the Trident Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The energy is building. The atmosphere is just fantastic. This is a repeat of the game that happened last year in Italy. In the last chance round, or rather the loser's bracket right of the second round, just to be accurate. Mexico and Saudi Arabia coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're up and running. Welcome to the Trident Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil.